Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is on this look right here, and we're going to start off by priming our eyes with MAC's Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I put a pretty heavy amount on this because I felt like my eyes had a lot of discoloration. The paint pots are going to act kind of as two things. So the first thing it's going to do is prep your eyes for eyeshadows and give it a good base. And the second thing is it's going to conceal any redness or discoloration that you have on your lids. After that, we're going to set it with the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder. This is just going to help the eyeshadows blend out really easily. To start the eye look, we're going to be taking Makeup Geek's Creme Brulee and just popping that in the crease. This is, of course, going to be our transition shade. I love this shadow. I use it almost every single day. It is the perfect transition shade for my skin tone. Taking Makeup Geek's Mocha, this is a nice deeper brown. We're going to start to carve out that crease and give it a little bit more definition. I go in pretty heavily and then I begin to blend it out, bringing the shadow into the inner portion of the eye. We're going to be adding some color today with Makeup Geek's Bitten. This is the perfect burnt cranberry shade. I love this shade. It's so beautiful and it's really easy to blend. Sometimes colored shadows can be a little bit more difficult to work with, but this one is just as smooth and buttery as all the other ones. Anyways, back to the application. So what we're going to do with this cranberry shade is we're going to apply it the same way that we applied the dark brown Mocha. So we're going to be popping the most of the color pigmentation on the outer V and then bringing the rest that's on your brush into the inner portion of the crease. Just always keeping the shadow very rounded, but then I decide to flick it out at the outer portion of the eye, kind of mimicking where your wing liner would go. After you got the shape down, you want to just keep buffing it out and diffusing that color. And then we're going to be packing a little bit more onto the lid, just ever so slightly. Next, we're going to be taking Makeup Geek Shimma, which is one of my favorite shimmery white cream eyeshadows. And we're just going to be popping that all over the lid space and on the inner corner tear duct. And don't worry if you cover up any of the bitten part. We're going to go back in and brighten that area up again. Here I'm just creating a wing liner with the NYC liquid liner in black. This is my favorite liquid liner and it's like $2. It's the best. You can get it at Walmart. I also applied some lashes. So these are the Ardell Glamours in 105 and they're one of my favorite more dramatic lashes. Moving on to the face, we're going to prime today with Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I've really been liking this one. It does a really good job at keeping my makeup on and creating a really good smooth surface, which I really like. For foundation today, I'm using one of my favorites. It is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. This is for normal to oily skin, but I feel as though if you do have combination or even dry skin, you can still use this. I don't find it gives a full matte finish, more of a demi-matte, and if you use more of a illuminating primer, I feel like you could definitely wear this foundation. So I'm just patting that on with my beauty blender. And then moving on to concealer, I'm using my all-time favorite concealer. I love this concealer. I didn't have it for a little while and I finally repurchased it. It is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I am in the shade NC25 and I am obsessed with it. To set my concealer, I am going to be using the banana shade from the Kat Von D palette. I believe it's called Lyric, and I really like the finish that this powder gives, so I just pop that under the eyes and then anywhere that I also added concealer. And to bronze today, I'm going to be using the Benefit's Hoola. I use this not only to bronze but also to contour a little bit. It gives a nice contour. It's not too warm and not too cool toned either. So it's kind of a good in between. So I just sculpt out my cheekbones, and then I also drag it down my jawline, the center, not center of my chin, the beneath my chin, and then also on the temples and hairline. For blush, I am taking MAC's Melba. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes. I think it's one of the first blushes I've ever purchased in my entire life. It's amazing. It really does go on so smooth and it blends out really easily. So if you pack on too much, you don't have to really worry too much because it'll blend out. And to highlight, I'm taking Becca's Moonstone, and with a fan brush, just popping that on my cheekbones, and I kind of drag it down a little bit further than I normally do, connecting it to my blush. Don't normally include my brow procedure because I don't do a whole lot, but basically what I do, for those of you who are wondering, I take a brow wiz from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm in dark brown and I just fill in the sparse areas. So I don't recreate any shape. I just fill in the brow that I already have. And then on one of my brows, I draw a little bit of a tail because it's a little bit shorter than the other. Here I'm just highlighting my brow bone and fixing up the inner corner, just adding a little bit more of that Shimma shade to intensify it. Here I am taking a very precise brush and adding this color, what is this called? It's by L'Oreal and it's a color Infallible. It's one of those pressed eyeshadows and it's called Burning Black, but essentially it is just a really deep purple, and I just added that on the outer V and then I'm smudging it on the lower lash line just to add a little bit more to the look. Here I am taking L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. Usually I don't include this part either because I'm always out of frame because I'm so close to my mirror, but I wanted to show you guys what I use. For some reason, the most difficult part for this tutorial for me was the lip color. I tried on so many. As you can see, my lips were a little bit stained. It's because I had Rebel on before that, but it was just too much purple. So I took it off as best as I could, and I'm adding in MAC's Faux, and I really like the way it turned out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!